For the hunters of Calarum, it is an uncomfortable truth that they are likely to die a violent, bloody death. A single slip-up could cost you not only your life, but the lives of others. Due to their strange and alienable practices, the hunter's job is largely a thankless one, as they are often shunned by a larger society. However, most take comfort in knowing that they have done good by others. Yet even among the ranks of the hunters, there are those who are reviled by their own kin, seen as diseased, filthy, cursed. The hunters of the Arcane are perhaps the most pitiful of all. Theirs is an unenviable job, a hopeless fight, a slow but short life. From the outside, the Arcane hunters are a truly lamentable lot. It is all too common a sight to see an Arcane hunter with mangled and mutated body parts, skin peeling and malforming or possessing tragic dispositions. Reclusive, eccentric, paranoid, and highly superstitious, the Jared will consider them mad, and those quick to condemn claim them to be damned. There are indeed many words with which to describe these hunters, rarely any good. But it begs the question, why are they this way? What brings a man to such a lowly state? Well, to the uninitiated, the answer is easy. Ghosts, spirits, the unseen and incorporeal. Who could possibly face such things and come out unscathed, both physically and emotionally? Even the general populace knows to never incur the wrath of the baleful beings that hide in the corner of our eyes. The truth is indeed much more complicated than that. The supernatural threats faced by the Arcane hunters do include ghosts, spirits, and all manner of incorporeal pest control, yet these are the least of their quarry. Whilst beast hunters must contend with primal terror and man hunters with the cruelty of their kin, the Arcane hunters are burdened with much worse. Beings that occupy the space beyond human sight, predators that feed not on flesh and bone but your very life force, parasites that slither into the mind and hook their tendrils into your psyche, deific beings that can shatter the human mind with but a glance. The Arcane hunters are not even fully aware of how deep the dangers of their prey truly go, and most would prefer it that way. Unlike with other hunters and their quarry, direct knowledge of the Arcane can be just as dangerous as ignorance. But this is not to say that their charge is a hopeless one. Far from it, in fact. While it is indeed true that the Arcane hunters are the lowest in number among their kin and boast the shortest expected lifespan of any other hunter, those that do survive are said to be the most widely skilled hunters out there. Where other hunters have the benefit of fighting physical prey, the Arcane hunters face not only physical threats, but the ethereal as well. Their minds, bodies, and souls must be trained to combat all manner of horrific excruciations, for the rules their prey work under are complex and confusing. A single slip-up could cost them everything. They arm themselves with unorthodox weapons, protect themselves with seals and charms and wards. Silver is the best defense against the Arcane. Similar to gold, it disrupts the flow of Cur, but is most effectively employed in both defense and offense. Unalloyed silver blades are used to greatly harm spirits, cutting through them with ease, although they tend to be quite ineffective against physical adversaries, the brutal blades shattering remarkably easily. But unfortunately, there is only so much physical armaments can do, and only so far one can push their body. This is when one must turn to other methods, if one wishes to be a proper match for the supernatural. Not all spirits are hostile to humans, with a good portion appearing as markedly indifferent or at least neutral to them, and some are actually friendly. The vast majority of Arcane hunters end up making a pact of some sort with supernatural beings. The boons offered are almost too good to pass up. From resistance to curses, spirit sight, or even making their bodies conduits for cypheries, the price for these boons are varied, but no matter the cost, a universal side effect is the mutations born from meddling with the Arcane, and to the untrained eye, there's little distinction between curses and pact markings. And even Arcane hunters themselves will admit, the difference is superficial at best. The largest lodge of Arcane hunters is that of the Umbral Wardens. They are as much scholars as they are hunters. You'll commonly see them adorned in finely woven robes, contrasted starkly by their grotesque malformations. The members of the Umbral Wardens are very few in number, but due to their unmatched ken of the supernatural, you will find no other hunter more suited to the exercising of the malicious immaterial predators of man. One notable member of the Umbral Wardens is Ozark Belton, a young but talented hunter. Proficient in the use of the Mirror Sword, a mark of high rank within the Lodge, as well as a supremely skilled wielder of combat cypheries, employing both to great effect in his hunts. Those who have seen him in action are quick to note how he uses two contrasting armaments as though they were one. Born the third son of a noble house, Belton was plagued by visions of the immaterial realm throughout his childhood. Cast out of his noble family for fear of being cursed after he had purposefully blinded himself in hopes of being freed from his torment, circumstance would lead him to eventually find himself under the mentorship of an elder of the Umbral Wardens. Now, at 29 years old, he is considered a peerless paranormal investigator and an extraordinary hunter. Amongst the ranks of the Arcane hunters, supernatural malady and misfortune are considered commonplace occupational hazards, with many amongst them suffering from truly grotesque and crippling curses. Among these misbegotten individuals, there are few more unlucky than Cygeric Dranson. Despite his irrefutable skill for tracking cypheric beings, few ever sought out his company. Swaddled head to toe in cloths inscribed with arcane wards and smothered in strange ointments, the bandaged hunter was one few of his compatriots wished to be associated with. Skin which crawled, eyes which never closed, and nails under which poisonous roots grew were but the least of the man's physical ailments. So who knew what malaise had infected his mind? For reasons unknown, but to the relief of his peers, Cygeric Dranson has never mentored another hunter, nor does he appear at any lodges other than for annual meetings and to deliver proof of slain quarries. When on a hunt, he utilizes a longsword clearly of high craftsmanship, contrasting heavily against his more haggard persona. Inscribed with numerous runes and more mundane engravings, each intended to banish a different spirit, the blade is highly capable of disposing any ethereal beings. Aberrus finds his mark using a variety of grotesque and enigmatic methods. Employing ancient rites and druidic rituals, those who have witnessed his work have had no success in replicating his results. On this note, it is considered unwise to shadow Aberrus for long, as he does not take kindly to competition. His clothing is often in a state of disrepair, flowing like the rags of a lost spirit. On his belt he carries many tools and ingredients used in the preparation of his alchemy. Chief among these is his gilded ritual dagger, which he uses to harvest most of his resources and put down the prey he hunts. A notably gaudy affectation for one so unkempt that he is sometimes confused for a spirit himself. His mask is crudely carved from a piece of Iscarus tree. This is likely to take advantage of its unique properties to help hide his scent and of course guard against the supernatural. I have already touched on the Arcane Hunter's prey in another video, which will be linked down in the description. I highly recommend it, not only because I made it, but because it explains a bit more of what they hunt exactly. Thank you to my two associates who each created an Arcane Hunter design for this video, as well as the accompanying short bios in addition. Thank you very much. Happy Halloween, and remember, good hunting.